students. Today I am here with a very important topic in English grammar, that is subject verb agreement. So let us begin. First of all, let us discuss what a subject is. What a subject is in a sentence. So dear students, as we know that a subject is that part, of a sentence about which something is said, So as we know that, dear students, a subject is that part of a sentence about which something is said. Usually, a subject in a sentence, whether it is noun or pronoun. Usually, a subject in a sentence, whether it is noun or pronoun. Now, let us discuss verb. So, you can note it down or you can take the screenshot. Okay? Verb. What is a verb? So, as we know that a word which expresses an action or a word which expresses an action or state of being is called verb. A verb. Okay, dear students, so we know very well that a subject is that part of a sentence about which something is said, and a verb is that part of a sentence which expresses an action or state of being. Okay, which expresses an action or state of being. So let us go through the examples. Let us understand it better through the examples. Rohan is playing cricket. In this sentence, playing is auxiliary. It's also a verb, a helping verb. Auxiliary means helping verb. So here playing is verb. So here it is expressing an action of play. Okay, so that is why it is a verb. Now state of being, milk is white. So in this sentence, is verb because it refers the state of being the milk white. Okay, students. So subject is that part of a sentence about which something is said, and verb, a word which expresses an action or state of being, is called a verb. Okay, so either you can take screenshot or you can note it down. I am going to rub it now. Now, what is subject verb agreement? We know what a subject is in a sentence and what a verb is in a sentence. Now what is subject verb agreement? So dear students, while making any sentence in English, in order to make it grammatically correct, it is very important that a verb must agree with its subject in number or person. In a sentence, a verb must agree in number or person. So, in a sentence, a verb must agree a number or person with its subject. With its subject. So it is very important that a subject and verb must agree in a sentence. Okay, only then it will be grammatically correct. So what does it mean? It means in a sentence, a singular subject is followed by in a sentence, a singular subject is followed by a singular verb. A singular verb, while a plural subject is followed by a plural verb. So dear students, what does it mean? A verb must agree in number or person with its subject. What does it mean? It means a singular subject is followed by a singular verb in a sentence, while a plural subject is followed by a plural verb. Is it clear? In a sentence, a verb must agree with its subject in number or person. So let us go through some examples to understand it better. Now, examples. First one, Rohan speaks English fluently. Okay, Rohan speaks English fluently. Second one, they speak English fluently. So dear students, we can see that here Rohan is a singular subject, that is why it is followed by a singular verb, while there is plural subject, that is why it is followed by a plural verb. More examples. So shall I rub it? I am going to rub it. You can take a screenshot. Okay, in order to write more examples, I am going to rub it. I am eating pizza. I am eating pizza. Third one. Fourth one. You are eating pizza. You are eating sorry, what is happening? Yes, pizza. Fifth one. They are eating pizza. So dear students, we can see that in the first one with I, am has been used, I am eating. In the next one, are has been used with you, and in the third one also are has been used. One more here, Ravi is eating pizza. Okay. So dear students, here we can see that a singular verb is followed by a singular subject. A singular subject is followed by a singular verb, while a plural subject is followed by a plural verb. As far as I is concerned in English, it is singular, but it follows the rules of plural. Don't ask why, because there is no logic behind it, but it's a rule in grammar. According to rules of grammar, it follows the only, apart from present continuous tense. In present continuous tense, we use am with I and are with plural subjects. Okay, apart from present continuous, in all the tenses, I follows the rules of plural. Okay. So here we can see that, dear students, subjects in all the sentences, verb agrees with the subject. The verb agrees with the subject means if subject is singular, then verb is also singular. If subject is plural, then the verb is also plural. So that is called subject-verb agreement. A sentence is correct grammatically only when the verb in it agrees with the subject in number or person. Okay. So dear students, there are certain rules regarding subject-verb agreement. So let us go through all the rules one by one. Now we are going to discuss rule 1. What is rule 1 regarding subject-verb agreement? Rule 1 says, when two or more nouns or pronouns. So here nouns or pronouns refers to subjects. So we can also write, instead of nouns and pronouns, we can also write subjects. Okay. So when two or more nouns or pronouns or two or more subjects are joined are joined by and, are joined by and, followed by a plural verb. So dear students, when in a sentence two or more subjects are joined by and, they followed by a plural verb. If two or more subjects are joined by and, if two or more subjects are joined by and, they followed by plural verbs. Okay, so please take the screenshot or write it down. I am going to rub it, so let us understand it better with the help of examples. Number 1, gold and silver are precious metals. Gold and silver are precious metals. So as students, we can see that two singular subjects are joined by and followed by a plural verb. Next, fire and water do not agree. So yeah, once again we can see that two nouns are joined by and, okay, they followed by a plural verb. More examples are your father and mother at home. So dear students, what we have seen here, if two or more if two or more subjects, two or more nouns are joined, nouns or pronouns are joined by and, they followed by a plural verb. Okay, so there are certain rules regarding it. It is rule number 1. So I hope you have taken the screenshot. Let us discuss rule number 2, which is very important. Now we are going to discuss rule number 2, which is very important. Rule 2. What is rule 2, dear students? But if two nouns are joined, two nouns are joined by and, but if two nouns are joined by and they give one idea, they give one idea to the mind, one idea to the mind, or refer to same person or thing. They are followed by a singular verb. Okay, students, what does rule 2 say? According to rule 2, if two nouns are joined by and they give one idea to the mind, two nouns are joined by and but they give idea of one. If two nouns are joined by and but they give idea of one or refer to the same person or thing, they are followed by a singular verb. So what is difference? Please take the screenshot or note down. You can also pause the video and note down. So what is the difference between rule 1 and rule 2? Let us understand. Dear students, rule 1 says subject plus and plus subject plus and plus subject followed by plural verb. Okay. Rule 2 says subject means noun plus and plus subject noun giving same idea, giving one idea or one unit, or refer to same person or thing, is followed by singular verb. Let me write here. What is happening? Okay. What is the difference between rule and rule 2? Rule 1 says subject plus and plus subject is followed by plural verb, while rule 2 says subject, that is noun, plus another noun, plus and another noun, subject and another noun is giving one idea to the mind or referring to same person or thing, they are followed by singular verb. This is the difference between rule 1 and rule 2. So now let us understand rule 2 with the help of some examples. Number 1. Time and tide waits for no man. Time and tide waits for no man. So dear students, we can see that here time is noun 1 and tide is noun 2. We can also say it is subject 1 and it is subject to. They are joined by and, but they are giving us one idea. They are giving us one idea. So that is why you can see that here singular verb has been used. So if two or more, if two nouns are joined by and, but they give one idea or refer to same person or thing, then they are followed by singular noun. More examples. Example number 2. Rice and curry is my favorite dish. Rice and curry is my favorite dish. So in this, student, you can see that rice and curry are two different pronouns, even then they are followed by singular verb is, because here they are expressing a single dish. They are giving us the idea of one. So if if two nouns are joined by and, but they give the idea of one, but if they give the idea of one, then a singular verb is followed by them. More examples. The novelist and poet died. The novelist and poet died. It is not visible. Let me rub these two examples. If you haven't written, you can pause the video and take the screenshot. Third one. Yes. The novelist and poet. The novelist and poet is died. Okay. So dear students, the novelist and poet, here these two nouns are referring to the same person. The same person was novelist and poet. Here if we write was died, then it is more suitable. Okay. So the novelist and poet was died. So here novelist and poet has been used for the same person. That is why here singular verb has been used. So if two nouns are joined by and, but they gives us one idea or they refers to the same thing or same person, then they are followed by a singular verb. Okay, is it clear? So now let us discuss next rule regarding it. Rule third. What is rule third? Says if two nouns are joined by and both the nouns are preceded by if two nouns are joined by and both the nouns are preceded by an article then they are followed by a plural verb. So dear students, if two nouns are joined by and both the nouns are preceded by article, then they are followed by the plural verb. Let's see how. Example of rule third. The poet, the novelist and the poet are coming. So dear students, or word-eyed, we can also, if we have to compare with the last example. So here let me change it. Okay, what it is, sorry. Okay. So dear students, in rule 2, the same example was written in this way. The novelist and poet was died, but here you can see this noun novelist has been preceded by the, and poet also preceded by the. So now they are not giving us idea of one person. They are giving us the idea of two persons. So in this case, we must use plural verb. So that is why plural verb has been used here. So the novelist and the poet means the novelist is a different person and the poet is a different person. Okay. So it's all about today's class. In our next video, we will be discussing more about this rule. So thank you students for watching. See you tomorrow.